Either one.
Casa Grande. West Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a registered dietitian at the Heart Hospital. She is a firecracker. She knows the science inside and out. She has a master's level degree in nutrition, and she has a whole host of credentials beyond that. And she just has an absolute heart of gold. So I met Joanne, 8.5 years ago?
Yes.
And then we ended up doing a meeting kind of like this in your house. And she'll fill you in on all that. A whole lot has changed as well. But anyway, we are just thrilled to death for you to be here, sharing what you're passionate about, sharing the science, sharing our brand new product that just came out, and why you're so excited about this business. So take it away, Joanne. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. And I want to say thank you. Yes. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm just really so honored to be in the room here with, there's some really amazing leaders in LifeVantage in this room, by the way. Just awesome that I've learned from Maria and Carrie Williams have been my mentors, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't be here without them. They have been the ones who have just held my hand and gotten me to this place. And so, and that's what's beautiful about our business, is that look at this room full of people, and we're all on one big team, and we're here helping and supporting each other. So just remember that as we go through this evening. So yes, when I was introduced to LifeVantage, it was 2011. I was the head dietitian for Cardiovascular Hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and it was actually a very stressful, sad time of my life, because my husband of 32 years had just passed away the year before I was introduced to LifeVantage. And my husband was this very healthy man, ate all the greens and the healthy food I put in front of him, even though, he's a Montana cowboy, he'd rather have steak, he'd rather have steak and potatoes, but he was really very into health and wellness, and he was taking a handful of vitamins before people even knew that it was a good thing to maybe supplement your diet. And so he was lean, fit. He'd just been remodeling a house, and he started having lightheaded, dizzy spells. We went to the doctor, found out he had stage 4 brain cancer, the most aggressive kind of brain cancer you can have. Passed away in a year. So at that point, it was like I knew there needed to be more powerful tools in the nutrition tool chest to help people combat oxidative stress, because I felt that it was damage done to his brain by the toxic chemicals that he'd been exposed to all through his life, through all the different professions he had been in, including Agent Orange when he was in Vietnam. So I just knew that. So when Dr. Mark Gordon invited me to a presentation like what you're going to hear tonight, and about the scientific validation of our flagship product, Protandim Nerve 2, it was a aha moment for me. I'm like, this is it. This is what we need. We need something like this to supplement that healthy Mediterranean diet. This is that extra tool. This is the thing that we're missing. I thought just that little yellow pill could do so much. So that's how I got started. I told Dr. Gordon I was way too busy. I didn't want to do the business. I had a full plate. I was very active in my profession and leading some committees with the American Dietetic Association. I had my husband's rental business. I thought I don't have time for this business, but I knew I wouldn't be able to keep my lip zipped. Okay, so I'm hoping you're going to be like me tonight. All of you there. When you hear this, you just know. I just know I'm going to go out now and want to share this, and you're going to be like me, Rolodexing some names, and you're going to be making your list. At least I'm hoping that's what you'll be thinking, because we're helping a lot of people. And so it's been this wonderful 9-year journey, and I have to tell you that I got started sending out this ABC news clip, and you're going to see this tonight. And I just started sending it out to people. And Dr. Gordon was really smart. He just said, hey, just send out that clip. He made it so simple. And he said, you get your own website for free, your own e-commerce website. All you do is send people to your website and they order, and that's it. They ship the product. I think, oh, I think I could do that. So that's how I got started. And it was when the checks started showing up in my mailbox that I go, oh my gosh, you can make money in this business, because I was enrolling customers and distributors. And so I was like, this little small voice inside of me said, this is the business that you're looking for in retirement, because when my husband passed away, I was a little short in my retirement account. Anybody a little short in the retirement account? Yeah, There's a lot of people out there, right? And I didn't want to work in that windowless office till I was 70. or beyond, that was such a depressing thought. I was already, kind of depressed. So I got started, and within 2 years, I walked out of that windowless office. Yes. So here. So that's what has been this wonderful, amazing journey in life and teaching. When I got started, I didn't know about nerve 2 activation. I knew a ton about oxidative stress, and I knew that was damaging, but I didn't know about nerve 2. And so this was really exciting for me. And now I'm going to be teaching the dietitians in integrative and functional medicine on Monday, presenting to them and teaching them about nerve 2 activation. So this is where this has led me. So it's very exciting to be here tonight. So we're going to talk to you tonight about biohacking with the 3 theories of aging. And so in the 20th century in nutrition, we were talking about when it came to helping people as far as natural products, and we were talking about supplementing. It was all the big thing, about taking supplements, which we still want to supplement in some cases, vitamins and minerals. That's sometimes important. But now, 24th century, it's about activation, cellular activation. What you're going to learn tonight is how you're going to biohack your genetic code with Nutrigenomics. And this is really the future, right? This is where it's going. And so what we're going to teach you, what you're going to learn is that we're going to be able to get down to the root cause of aging, right down to the cellular level, right? With these 3 different anti-aging pathways. Okay, let's see if I can get. So we're talking, like I said, about biohacking and taking control of our biology, right? So you're not doomed by your genes. People will think that my dad had heart disease, my mother had diabetes, that I'm doomed. That's not true anymore. That is not true. About only 10% of your risk for getting disease is your genes. 90% can be modified. We're talking about modifying genes tonight. So I think with that, we want to show the video? Yeah. So this is going to be, what we're going to show you now is, we're going to start out with an ABC primetime investigative report, and that aired on the heels of the first scientific study of our flagship product, Protandim Nerve 2. And then we're going to lead into a discussion with our Chief Science Officer, or Vice President of Research and Development, Life Andy. She's going to be talking about the next 2 nutrigenomic products, a Nerve 1 and Nerve 2, so NAD. So let's roll it.
LifeVantage began in a lab with a single powerful scientific discovery. A discovery that proved that people around us have more capacity, potential, and ability within them than we have been led to believe. At LifeVantage, we can no longer accept the limits of the human condition. So we began introducing the world of biohacking. The idea that you can be better today than you were yesterday. That you can take control of your own biology. That your health doesn't have to decline as you get older. You don't have to simply accept the hand you've been dealt. In just a few short years, LifeVantage has brought biohacking to the mainstream, shortening the gap between cutting-edge scientific research and the customer. Every day in research labs around the world, we are learning how much more our bodies can do for us if we only flipped the right internal switches. So we're creating products that flip those switches. And we're doing it with a dedication to quality and safety and a different approach to selling those products. Sure, we could have gone the expected route, sold our products on big box shelves just like everyone else. In fact, at first we did just that. But we realized something. Our product sales were fueled by word of mouth and personal success stories, not marketing dollars. So we stopped paying big box stores and started paying our customers for what they were already doing, which allowed us to eliminate the gamble of traditional advertising in favor of performance-based payouts. And in the process, we ended up turning biohacking into a movement, empowering women, minorities, and all entrepreneurs to break societal barriers and realize what they're capable of, fueled by the power of a leveraged income. From 127 biohackers when we began to over 1 million in less than a decade. The movement has become a global phenomenon with no signs of slowing down. And our products aren't the only way we're investing in human potential. We're creating hard-working technology using AI, machine learning, and mobility to make it as easy to run a LifeVantage business as it is to take an Uber.
Welcome to the LifeVantage app.
Because of that first profound discovery, we are fiercely dedicated to helping others see what we have seen to see the immense potential in those around us. It's an inspiring way to see the world. It's why the biohacker movement continues to grow at a blistering pace. It's why giving back to our communities is a fundamental core belief. And it's why in a few short years, we have expanded into 15 countries and counting and grown from one groundbreaking nutrigenomic product to over 20. It's why we now have relationships with CEOs, sports teams, and influencers. It's why LifeVantage has grown from $3 million in revenue our first year to closing in on $250 million. And it's why we will never stop. Because to change the way the world sees, you can't really set up predict it. You have to be better and engineer a world of potential in the process.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is a pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
And it's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me?
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result, my level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine, they seem to be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease,
yes,
depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
There. All right. Okay, so ABC Primetime Investigative Report aired in 2005. And after that aired, the company received, I think, $5 million in orders overnight in the next month. But, you know, it was just a small biotech company, and they really didn't have a manufacturing facility in a way to get the product out to people. So it took them until it was about 2007 when actually Protandim Nerve 2 showed up on the shelves in the retail market. And where is it? It's right here. Yeah, it's okay. It used to be in a kind of white nondescript bottle. And so it was sitting on the shelf with the antioxidant vitamins. Well, this is not an antioxidant. This is a breakthrough in a new category of drugs and supplements called Nerve 2 activators. So the bottle should have been sitting on its own shelf. It should have had its own little label, its own shelf that should have said Nerve 2 activator. And guess what? It would be the only one on the shelf. And guess what now? That was back, what, 2007? But here we are, 12 years later. Do you know that there's not really another scientifically validated Nerve 2 activator that does what this does? It would still be sitting there by itself. So that was Protandim, yes. So that was Protandim Nerve 2. But then it wasn't selling. Of course, again, people thought it was an antioxidant, vitamin C selling for $10. This is $49.95. You kind of know the gist, right? People didn't know, they didn't see the video. So it was not really selling. And it wasn't until that they changed the marketing model and put it into person-to-person marketing distribution, because there's a story to be told. There's education. That's why you're all here, right? And that, as a result of that, the company growth just exploded. And so that's really why we're all here tonight. So let's see this way. Okay, the science of Protandim Nerve 2 is why I joined the company. Because I knew from my history, and I was a founding member of Dietitians in Functional Medicine of the American Dietetic Association, so I really had a passion and interest in this area of health for a long time. And I knew that it was difficult to get high quality, controlled, independent peer-reviewed studies on natural products. But then I saw that with Protandim Nerve 2 when I joined the company. We had 7 studies. That was amazing. Now we have 26 plus, and we have studies being published all the time. What adds a lot of weight to the research is that vast majority of these studies are independently funded. They're not funded by our company. Third-party funding is what gives the research so much weight. So back to the theme of that video, oxidative stress. Dr. Joe McCord said it's bad for the body, leads to disease. And that video does a great job explaining why it's bad for your body, because look at this, it's at the center of all these diseases of aging, right? Just about everything you can think of, from Parkinson's disease to macular degeneration. And so what is causing that are toxic molecules called free radicals. Another name for them is oxidants. So these oxidants or free radicals destroy everything that they bump into in your cells. I call them buzz bombs, right? So that leads to what we call aging and also oxidation, like this apple, right? For example, when you cut an apple, you expose it to the air, it's oxidation on the apple, rusting of your body from the inside out. And where do you get all those oxidants, free radicals? From your environment. Remember I was telling you about my husband in the beginning, right? About all the exposure he had to all of this, right? All of that. And so this is really what we're targeting when we take that little yellow pill. We're targeting this oxidative stress. So Protandim Nerve 2, the only dietary supplement clinically proven to lower that oxidative stress, 40% in 30 days. That's on the average, an average. In the video, did you notice, I don't know if you noticed that Keonis, the reporter, he took it for 2 weeks. Right? And how much did it lower his oxidative stress? 45%. 45%. Even better than the study. So you can see that that validated that this does what we, what we say it does. And I think probably to me the most important study on Protandim Nerve 2 was the one funded by the National Institutes of Health, government-funded study, conducted by the National Institute on Aging. And NIA has been conducting these studies for well over 20 years. Each year they choose specific drugs and supplements, and they study them to see if they'll extend lifespan. Of course, they have to choose mice because can't do these studies in humans. And what they found is that Protandim Nerve 2 significantly extended lifespan. Okay, so significantly extended lifespan, the only supplement that they had studied. They had studied MCT oils, turmeric, green tea extract. Individually, those nutrients did not extend lifespan. Only this little yellow pill. Okay. And what is really unique about it is the formula. This pill is a genius of a pill. Dr. Joe McCord is a genius scientist. What this shows you is the synergy of the 5 ingredients. Ashwagandha, bacopa, green teas, milk thistle, curcumin, and these 5 in low doses create this powerful synergy, and it generates and produces significantly by 18-fold increase of antioxidant enzymes. Alone, you get a little bump up, right? They have a little benefit, but it's the synergy, it's the formula. That's why we have 7 US patents on this formula, is because of the, wrong way. Okay. Yeah, it's because of the power is in this formula. So, there we go. Technology is great. I love it. The power is in the formula because the formula activates NRF2, NRF2. This is a NRF2 cellular activator. It activates your cells to make these powerful antioxidant enzymes. And so what you're doing, instead of taking antioxidants, you're making them. The ones that you make, and I tell people, these antioxidant enzymes inside of your cells are the most potent medicines you have available to you. They're inside your cells. You just need to get your cells activated to make them. And that's what NRF2 does. Cellular activator activates your cells. These researchers from Washington State University say NRF2 may become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Wow, we're on to something, aren't we? Okay, now we're going to have to carry it. There we go. We'll get there. Okay, so this next slide is a slide of a study that was conducted by a study called Biogenetic, a biotech company. Biogenetic was the first company to bring the first NRF2 activator drug to market. Because as you can imagine, if you looked at that little schematic diagram, right, about how if you could lower oxidative stress, it could probably treat all those diseases of aging, right? You got to think that the drug companies were thinking, wow, we could have a blockbuster drug, right? If we could get a NRF2 activator drug to market. So Biogenetic was the first company to do that, and they came out with a drug for multiple sclerosis. And then what they did, they took it one step further. They said, well, I wonder how our drug compares to Protandim NRF2 as a NRF2 activator. So this is their study. They found that interesting Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore maybe the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. How about that? So yeah, that's pretty good validation, right? Yeah, from the drug companies. So, you won't see that very often, by the way. Okay, so our company has continued after NRF2. Our bright scientists with our company continue to look at this concept of activating anti-aging pathways. And there's actually even more than 3. I've heard anywhere from 7 to 20 different anti-aging pathways in the human body. And so they came out with Protandim NRF1, activates another pathway that addresses cellular, what we call, mitochondrial dysfunction. And mitochondria are the powerhouse, the energy factories in your cells. And as you get older, because of that oxidative stress, starts destroying these energy factories. Guess what happens to your energy as you age, right? Does anybody here say have slowed down since they've gotten older? Anybody? Not me. Truly, not me. I mean, last Thursday I played 12 games of pickleball and got up next day and played some more, and I didn't have any aches and pains and muscle soreness. I had this quick recovery. It's amazing. These products really work, and they really work. So, again, our company continue the researching, and now they have come out with a breakthrough in another category called NAD plus Synergizer. And I say a breakthrough because you may have heard about maybe there is a competitor out there, but there's nothing out there that activates the sirtuins and the anti-aging genes like this does. Nothing can compare to it. It activates this other pathway, NAD, and what that does is it's kind of, I'm going to say, they call it a coenzyme with sirtuins. I call it the tango, because what does it take 2 to tango? So think of it that way, 2 to tango, right? So you have to have NAD to get the sirtuins, and these are powerful, potent anti-aging genes, and you have 7 of them, and they provide a whole host of benefits. It's amazing. So this slide shows you what you're really getting with the NAD Synergizer. So scientists for, I don't know, I read 80 years they've been doing these studies, a long, long time. Then they're looking at calorie restriction, severe calorie restriction, and for humans it would be like about an 800, 900 calorie diet, which just semi-starvation, right? But they did find that when they fasted animals and humans, that people had more mental clarity, and it activated a set of anti-aging genes. I was telling you about the sirtuins. So with the Protandim NAD, what we're doing is we're literally mimicking. We're really duplicating the same health benefits that you get from calorie restriction without the hunger, right? Without getting crabby and being hungry. So that's a good thing. And like I said, our competitors, look at that. Not even close, right? Not even close. Now, this is what is so exciting. We just got back from a convention in Long Beach, and I was just blown away when I saw this slide. This is what happens when you put the 3 together. Remember I was talking about synergy, right? The synergy of the Protandim nutrients. Well, now we have the synergy of the 3 activators working together. Okay, so this is a complicated slide, and I'm going to kind of swim over. But I'm just going to show you one of these right here. I'm going to show you, give you an example. What happens when you put these three together and you take them together? Okay, so let's look at Protandim Nerf 2 right here, right? Alone, it's going to increase this antioxidant gene by 40%. But when you take all three together, what do you get? You get 78%, right? Look at that. It's an 83% increase versus just alone. And look at this one, heme oxygenase 1, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory gene, right? Protandim Nerf 2, it's 51%. Look at this. It goes off the chart when you put the three together. Look at the gene expression. It is activating your genes, these anti-aging, anti-inflammatory genes, detoxification genes, and you're getting the significantly greater benefit when you put the three together. This is really powerful. And if you read about, I've been reading about these genes, by the way, and of course that's my little science brain getting in, reading about them. I mean, I get so excited. So next slide. So our company, again, like I said, has been just amazing at bringing great revolutionary products to the marketplace. You know, the Tri-Synergizers, I think, are just all breakthrough products, each of them in their own right. But we now have this awesome, amazing brain drink called Axio. And it is a brain drink that helps your brain with focus, concentration. It helps reduce the stress in your brain, because a lot of people get that brain fog, but it is actually stress in the brain. It's not really like physical energy deficit. And this just shows you what happened with this child.
That's Dr. Brimhall's nephew.
That's Dr.
Bring
That's
him
right.
up, let him tell the story.
Yeah, Dr. Brimhall.
Run, quick. Dr. Brett Brimhall, people. Okay, so hang on. So I'll introduce you really quick. Okay,
I was
so,
going to say how you told it.
Yeah.
it might get exaggerated. You know,
Yeah, good.
yeah, you got to get in front of it here for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys, really quick. So I told you I watched this ABC video when Luke was 3 days old. Luke was diagnosed right at 2 with autism. That rocked our world. From 2, for the next couple of years, we did 35 hours a week of therapy. Every single thing we could possibly do. We were looking for anything that could help him, that wouldn't hurt him, any little incremental improvement. At 4, he was still really, really struggling. In fact, this is Luke at 4. This is his preschool class. He's number 18. They tested all the kids. This is after 2 years of therapy, 35 hours a week. And this is just his letter names and sounds. So he's here, and he doesn't have a single thing right on the other bar, because he didn't get a single question right. So at 4, after 2 years of therapy, did not know his letters, did not know his numbers, in diapers, really, really, really struggling. You guys, I've been with the company 4 years at that point. Axio came out. It happened to be the one and only change. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to see what I saw, but Dr. Brimhall was his doctor. Dr. Brimhall had worked with him every single week up until that point. We met him when Luke was 3, so then he turns 4. Then Axio comes along, and Dr. Brimhall, 11 days in, said, wow, Luke had a great day. He said his verbal skills were roughly 50% better. The very next day, his speech therapist and his ABA therapist said the same kind of thing. He had a great day, was more focused, got through more materials. Now, Dr. Brimhall has taught and trained physicians all over, literally all over. He's helped formulate several hundred different nutritional products. The best of the best, when they can't get help, they go to him. So here, Dr. Brimhall ends up canceling patients with 1 week notice, jumps on a plane to meet the scientist. We went to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and to really get his questions answered straight from the source. And on the plane ride home, he was diagramming out why we were seeing those changes in his brain, and then came back and started sharing it with patients, people that he worked with 10, 12, 15 plus years. So kind of share real quick what you've seen.
Okay, so I'll go really fast on this, and I appreciate you guys being here tonight. I know a lot of places you can be, and it's actually fun to see this many people, because every one of you know probably 5 to 10 people that need what we're talking about tonight or more. And so, yeah, I remember her coming to me based on a referral of a doctor I trained in Iowa to see if I could help her son. And I had kind of run out of ideas. I literally just done everything I possibly could. And my dad and I developed a system. It's called the 6 Steps to Wellness, which is literally looking at the whole person. And normally we've learned that the more right things you do at once, the better results you get, that synergistic effect, right? So I was doing everything I could. I remember she came in one time and she goes, you know, her son said, look, I just want to be, he's noticed he's different. I just want to be smart like my brother, right? And I remember that feeling for me was like just as a parent, but also a physician, like I'm doing everything I can and literally this is the best it's going to get, right? And we're making improvement, but super, super slow. So when he started Axio, 11 days in, he went from a kid that literally just destroyed my room, right? And kind of get hearing the noise in the next room, right? All the kids making noise. That was kind of my office, right? To where he sat still for 15 minutes. He was able to remember stuff that we had been working with him on for a year. Like it just kind of came to him. It's like all of a sudden things unlocked. So there's a lot of people out there that all this information is getting in, but it's not getting back out. But the effects of that are cumulative, right? So now where he is today, which I'll finish that story, is unreal. But because there's this new idea that literally we could unlock the potential of a person if we just knew how, right? So this picture that some of you guys maybe can't see is a picture of my nephew's handwriting. And so this is a little boy, so just keep in mind, here's a guy, he's 9, oldest brother, struggled a lot in school, one of those kids that had to stand at recess, right, to finish his work, right, when he's on, picked for a sport, he's last picked because he just doesn't play well with other kids, right? So 2 weeks to him starting the Axio and the Protandim NRF2, that was his handwriting, which so you can see up close, you can see there's a drastic difference. But he went from one of the kids that was last in class to one of the kids that were done first in class, right? So who do you know that's like that? So when we're talking about this idea or this concept of nutrigenomics, think about unlocking the potential that you know is inside of yourself if you just knew that there were switches or you knew where they were. Right, so what we're talking about is a science that most people don't know about yet that will be applied across the board to every human eventually. So you get to know about it and use it now, or you can learn about it and use it later. Right? I'm glad that you're here because all of us have regrets of wish we would have known something sooner. Right? I wasn't open to seeing this when maybe someone showed it to me years before. I saw it in a little boy, where I'd run out of options. Right, but because of that, it's trickled down to a lot of people in this room that have now seen experiences with their own friends and family. And our hope is that we can continue to perpetuate that forward. Right.
Can you talk about the ingredients?
So we'll kind of go through the ingredients, but they're all natural ingredients, and you can look through and they're all, so it is the ingredients, but it's the synergistic effect of all the ingredients. So I remember when she showed me the ingredients, well, that's not that big a deal, right, when you look at the ingredients, but when you think about making bread, we can all make bread. But you better put the right ingredients in the right dosage at the right time at the right temperatures, otherwise you're not going to have bread. Okay, so when these products are made, they're not made to be a better bread or a better product. It's really the combination of ingredients together synergistically affect gene expression. But bottom line, that turns your rheostat up in your genes to perform like you haven't before, to heal like you haven't before. Because right now you're exposed to things you won't even know about that are affecting and damaging your genetics right now. So I'm just grateful to have this. I don't really care if I don't ever know what I don't get.
Are there any herbs from China or other countries?
So we can give you a list. You can kind of look at all those. So if you have questions, just come grab us at the end, and you can look at that. But standards are super high in the company. So okay.
So really quick, hang on, Joanne. So for those, thank you, Dr. I don't want people to think that this is just a drink for kids that are struggling. What blows me away, this drink is balancing and regulating. So I can take it to a focus in the zone, clicking on all cylinders, have a killer workout. People with Alzheimer's, dementia, post-traumatic or like PTSD or after strokes, things like that. So getting your brain in balance, but even depression, anxiety. So I can feel energized, but it can calm others down. Like Luke can even take the caffeinated one before bedtime. So absolutely phenomenal liquid brain food. It tastes great. My kids drink it every single day. He takes it to school. We've got it for you to try after as well. So hang on one sec. I'm going to introduce Melody and then we'll have you finish more. Is Dr. Melody Rodardi out here? Come on up now. Okay, so we got another super special person that we're going to introduce really quick. So Dr. Melody Rodardi, she is absolutely phenomenal. She was voted one of the top 5 docs in Phoenix several years in a row, this current year as well. Melody is DO and you got your degree with internal medicine, and then you specialize with bariatric medicine and wound care and aesthetics and all kinds of things. She's Phenomenal. Will you just kind of share, as a physician, what caught your attention? Why on earth are you doing this? And why are you so passionate about this? And then what has this allowed you to be able to do as well?
Can you come over here? Oh, forgot. I was picking an easier spot.
We got people tuning in from all
forgot
over.
about that part. Hi. So I've been a part of LifeVantage for the past 5 years, and I'm incredibly grateful that someone had the courage to talk to a physician, because a lot of people don't think that physicians have any issues or have any sick kids or have, any health concerns themselves. Well, when I was introduced to this, I was actually looking for something because my son has an autoimmune condition called alopecia, where he lost all of his hair and his eyelashes and his eyebrows. And I was doing everything possible that I knew what to do to help him out. And the next step of putting him on Prozac to reduce his stress, that's what his dermatologist, I love her, but that's all she had was to reduce his stress. That's all she could think of. And I'm thinking, there's got to be something else. And a colleague's wife gave me a phone call that week, and she didn't know as well that we were meeting with our financial advisor to get a loan and see how much we needed to put down to buy a franchise. Because my husband was almost 4 years to retirement, and we wanted our plan B to be in motion, that when the 4 years was up, that he could step into that role, and we would, we'd have his second career, his plan B. So we'll fast forward to now, and LifeVantage has been able to, one, give me a bigger platform to help other people in their health, just like Dr. Brimhall was saying. Like, I can tell you, like, us getting to talk up here like this, just think about how many people now you're going to go and be able to tell them about something that they could use in their health and in their families, and that, where on average, well, I had a crazy week last week and saw 100 patients, but I mean, that's nothing to, there's probably 100 people in here. So this gives a platform to really go out and help even more people. Two is, I did get to retire my husband last year because of LifeVantage, and we're continuing to grow this. And for $1,000 versus now my second part of my dream, which is opening my practice, not $1,000 to start that up. And that's coming to fruition. So this has given us a platform where a lot of times people think, oh, you're just going to talk about how cool the science is. Well, yeah, that's what caught my attention, and that's what I won't shut up about. But I also am now very passionate about what this business has been able to afford my husband and my family, and those that are wanting to team up with me and going out and blessing the world. So I am incredibly excited for where we're at, and getting to talk about the new product just floated our boats as well, because part of what I do is anti-aging medicine, and this has been a big buzz, and the fact that we can activate it now versus just supplement it, that's incredible to be ahead of the curve again. So,
woo, thank you. And both Dr. Maggio-Harelson and Dr. Brett Brimhall are both on our medical advisory board for this company. So very, very special that we've got them here tonight. So thank you guys. And just to finish my story with Luke really fast, he's in 3rd grade at ALA, just on the corner here, doing phenomenal. They do not know his diagnosis whatsoever. No IEP, no nothing. He is literally like 99th percentile with testing, and then his grades. Super, super social. My baseball moms know that Luke is literally running around all weekend long, totally loose at baseball tournaments. He flew by himself to New York City this summer at 8. He flew to Dallas alone. It has literally been life-changing. It didn't happen overnight. The results are cumulative. Like I said, Dr. Brimhall saw their results 11 days in. By that that was September 5 years ago. By that spring, the preschool director, she said, Carrie, Luke is now our peer model. We use Luke to teach others how to appropriately react, and then appropriately respond, whatever. And then we switched him to a new school the following year, and I thought, let's not share his diagnosis, because where he was at that point was not where he was back then. And I thought, let's just see. And he's just thrived, and it's gotten better and better and better. And he takes all of the Nerf 1, Nerf 2, NAD, Axio, and the next couple things that Joanne's going to talk about as well. So back to you, Joanne.
Okay, great. So moving on here, we're going through the rest of the product catalog here. And so in order for the tri-synergizers to work well and get great maximum absorption, we need a healthy gut. And one of the products that we have that's going to really help your healthy gut is the Physique Pro Bio. Now this is a shelf-stable probiotic. What's really unique is that with our probiotic, we have the BioTrack control release technology, which means that 60% of the healthy bacteria in this pill will get through your stomach acid. Without it, it's only 4%. So most of those probiotics that you're buying are providing you minimal benefit. We have the added ingredient of Wellmune, which can help to boost your immune system. And remember, your healthy gut is your best protection for as far as immune health. Okay, next slide. And we have some other amazing nerve activation products. We're first to market. And all these categories of NRF2 as far as hair care, skin care, and also pet care, Nerve 2 for pets, first to market. These are exclusive. Nobody has this. Our skincare system, actually, you can see visibly that it reduces and reverses the signs of aging on the skin. Under this hot Arizona sun, it protects us from that sun. It captures the UV rays before they can damage our skin. It's amazing, amazing system. My husband is, I think, the biggest fan of these products, guys, so it isn't just for women. Look at how fantastic he looks at 80. Look at that handsome man, right? Yes, yes, yes. So we have, so we have all of these amazing products. You can choose your level biohacking in terms of, we have different stacks. This is amazing. This is our Vitality stack. Doesn't include the NAD because it just was released, but we have an ultimate stack that is including that. This won a big award. Look at that. We're winning international awards with our products. We're getting recognized all over the world for what we're doing with our company, with these life-changing products. And of course, this is our Tri-Synergizer, which again, activating those anti-aging pathways, getting down to the root cause of disease, not just taking a chemical and a drug that's going to be just treating your symptoms, right? We're getting to the root cause of aging. Okay, I think with that, I think you're up, right? Okay, thank you.
We just got the Phoebe Award for our shampoo, our hair care.
I was so busy getting ready for 100 people in my house. I didn't know. Okay, so really quick, you guys. So like I said, I watched that 9 years ago. To me, the products were an absolute no-brainer. I'm the kind of person, I'm a go-hard person. I'm like, I want every extra advantage I can possibly have. For those who know me, you're like, yes, 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 that's you, Carrie, right? So that was a no-brainer. And I'm like, are you kidding? I want it for my kids. I want it for this, for that, right? Immediately started thinking about people. But then I thought, well, tell me more about this business model. And I am the kind of person, if I believe in something, I naturally share this with everyone. I've done hot yoga for 11 years. You'll hear from my yoga instructor later. I've sent so many people to hot yoga. And so when I was introduced to this business model, it made perfect sense. The idea that you could share life-changing products validated by science and you could create residual leveraged income. So the first question I had was, well, who knows about this, right? So as Joanne said, initially it was a biotech company. Then they took it retail, sat on the shelves, and then it went network marketing 10 years ago. So I was introduced to it 1 year after that. At that point, the company was doing about $10 million. And so my first question was, again, who knows about this, right? Currently, I'll tell you, we've got less than 80,000 distributors in the world. And back then, all we had was Protandim Nerve 2. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oxidative stress is one of the root causes of aging. Every single person has it. You cannot escape it. This lowers it across the board by 40 to 70%. And we have the independent studies to share with the world. That blew me away. So, I truly believe we've got our hands on like a baby Apple, a baby iPhone. What if you knew about Apple and iPhones, right, way back in the day? How many of you had an iPhone 1, 2, or 3? Just a couple people, right? Most people got it the 4 later. I think that's what we've got our hands on. But it's in the wellness industry. Clearly, I'm not a techie. We can't get the iPad to even work, right? I'm passionate about changing lives. So when I saw that the business potential really positioned behind these groundbreaking products, I was blown away. So companies go through what they call this business S-curve. Initially, they start out in formulation and pioneering. That's the make it or break it time. Most companies fail within the first few years, so it's very, very risky to get involved at that point. So looking at this today, here we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. The stock is, I think, around $14 a share. We hit 225 million in sales. We're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company, and we're looking for entrepreneurs as well that see the vision, that want to share this and capture a piece of that market as well. And think about biohacking through nutrigenomics. Nobody's talking about it, and we are years and years ahead. So there's going to be a time where instead of supplementation, the world learns about activation, and there's going to be a massive period. And so again, we're looking for those entrepreneurs that see that vision and want to be part of this movement. Now, what excites me even more is we just came back from convention, and that's where that NAD Synergizer was launched. Okay, you guys, the science on that, if you really, and we can, you know, whoever invited you, we can get you more information. The long-term health benefits are incredible. People are also feeling it pretty quickly, but then that synergy, right? The synergy of NRF2 and NRF1. I mean, here, Washington State said it was the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine, and boom, by adding NAD, it goes exponentially greater. So I feel like the timing is really like, this is like for those who said, hey, I wish I'd heard about this 9 years ago. Well, guess what? This is phase 2, and you have that opportunity. So that got me excited from a business perspective as well. I want to introduce Maria, my next door neighbor at our old house. Hi, Maria. I was just, so we live 60 miles away, like I-17 and Joe Max.
An hour and 20 minutes to get here.
I know.
I don't do that for a lot of people. I got in the car and it said an hour and 20 minutes, or 125, or an hour and 25. I said, I'll go an hour and 20 minutes.
So I was on that side of town last night, and I took Steph by her old house, and I said, this is where it began. Literally next door neighbors, same last name, not related. She's Brazilian, I'm definitely not. And our husbands are, they're sisters-in-laws, and definitely not on that one as well.
Black and white.
But Maria, I introduced this to Maria, and she'll kind of share her story. We have gotten this off the ground together. Maria is an angel. We've had a blast. You know, I always say, you know, do this with your friends. Grab someone you love and go change the world. So Maria, kind of share your story. And
absolutely.
Thank you.
So Carrie trapped me in my house 9 years ago.
Right? So for those who are trapped in here today, you can take us later.
Houston. She calls me and say, hey, the kids want to come over to the pool. Yeah, no problem. My boys were 9 and 11. Hers were 3, 0, and 4. Well, yeah, 0 and 4. Sure, she comes over, and as soon as we get the kids playing, she's like, hey, you got to watch this ABC investigative report. So I'm trapped in my own house, and I don't even know that I'm trapped yet, right? I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, you know, no big deal. And I was very, very intrigued. It blew my mind away. And the reason was I had started my healthy quest in 2007. So I grew up in Massachusetts, was living in Massachusetts. I was in human resources for over 20-some years in the manufacturing industry. I worked in a very, unfortunately, toxic environment. So you saw all those toxins that cause oxidative stress, and then you saw that pinwheel. Well, oxidative stress can cause cancer. In 2007, my blood work was a little off. My doctor said, well, let's go to a hematologist and oncologist and see what's going on. So I went, and I walked in and did some bone marrow biopsy, and they thought I had leukemia, and it wasn't. But she said, you need to come back so we can do further testing. But then 2008 came along. Everybody remember what happened in 2008? Yeah, right. That happened to our family. In one swoop, my husband's boss comes in. He had a high-level executive job in an insurance company, and one day, everything's gone. So he had to find something else. So he found something here in Arizona. So we moved here in 2009. So as a mom, I put myself back and worried about my kids and my family, and didn't even think of going and getting it checked. I told my husband I'll move to Arizona on one condition. I'm not working, because I worked 50, 60, 70 hours a week. Corporate America owned me. It was a 3-shift manufacturing operation. When anything happened, it didn't matter what it was. HR got the first phone call, and I was always in there. So I never saw my kids growing up, and I wanted something different. And I said, I'm going to be that stay-at-home mom finally. And he said, sure, fine, not a problem. But the only problem was that, you have to come back from 2 incomes to 1, right? So I had to come back on a lot of things, and I was very uncomfortable with that. And then my brilliant husband decided to put me on a budget. That was the last I was like, okay, this stay-at-home thing is not quite working out the way I wanted it to, right? So when Carrie came over, so that started my healthy quest because I knew all about antioxidants, right? I was taking like over $500 worth of antioxidants because I was trying to be healthy because in the back of my mind, something's going on. But what Carrie didn't know when she came over was that I was praying and looking for something to create extra income in our home because I did not want to go back to corporate America. I did not want to work all those hours. So I was praying and looking for something, and she comes over. And I'm telling you, if you've ever heard God's voice, I heard God's voice. I'm watching that ABC, truck to my house, but I'm hearing this voice saying, this is it. And I'm like, this is it? This is what you've been asking for? Because I was asking very specific. I didn't want to go back to corporate America. I only wanted flexibility. I wanted to be a mom and still have some extra income, right? Didn't even realize the health side of it. So I get on the product, I start feeling amazing, you know, little things went away. So one thing that everybody forgot to say, but I'll remind you all, this does not cure, treat, or prevent any disease, okay? What it's doing, it's activating your body, getting it back into balance, your body's in control, and it's healing your body. One of the big things that Nerve 2 activation does, it detoxifies carcinogens out of your body. U of A is doing a big study on NRF2 activation, and Dr. Zhang, that's heading that, said that every healthy person needs to be on a Nerve 2 activator to prevent cancer because it detoxifies the body of carcinogens. So I had a carcinogen in my body, probably benzene exposure from where I worked. So this thing started going to work and cleaning out my body, right? And I'm feeling amazing, great. Feel like I'm back in my 20s. Everything they say is just incredible. And then in 2000, I think it was 14 or 15, my doctor said, hey, your blood work, my new doctor here said your blood work is way better, but it's just not normal. And she knew that what happened in 2007. So she said, you know what? I'd love for you to go get it checked again. And I said, sure, because I'm feeling amazing, just like I feel today. And I'm like, sure, they're not going to find a thing, right? I feel amazing. So I go, and they did find something. They found what I had was multiple myeloma. The oncologist said, it's an incurable cancer, 4 to 5 years to live. I said, well, 2000, I think it was 2000.
5 years ago, because it was right when we moved.
So it was 2014. So it was 2014. I said, well, if I probably started having this in 2007, I've beat that odd. And so he told me all about the cancer treatments. And I said, hold a minute, time out. What if I did nothing? And he kind of looked at me like I was totally crazy because it's incurable, right? 4 to 5 years to live. He said, well, your numbers are low. And if you can keep them there, we'll just monitor it. Well, 2019, and we're just monitoring it. So it's just amazing. But on the business side, this angel, she's the angel, right? So your neighbor comes over and introduces you to this. It has been life-changing. We've built a huge business. We have almost, I know my side of it, we have almost over 80,000 people on these products all over the world. So 2 girls on a mission. I had never done this type of business. I wasn't opposed to it, but you know, I fell in love with this product. And if you can fall in love with this product and just open up your heart and share it with people, you can have huge transformation. We are on phase 2, and this new product, I mean, I think everyone that's on NAD, have you had energy, focus, anybody on it? It is amazing. I know Carrie's mom's back there, her eyesight is better. And because of that, I'm like, oh my goodness, my eyesight's better too. And I need even, you know, it's just amazing what these products are changing. So almost 80,000 people on these products. We've built almost a $14 million business between the 2 of us. And it's just been life-changing. And I know that anyone that's sitting in here wants some extra income, whether it's part-time income to big-time income to whatever it is, you have a huge opportunity in your hands, and you just have to be passionate about this because we are bringing this scientific breakthrough to the world. They don't know about it. We talk to doctors all day, every day, and they don't know about this. So if they don't know about this, then we don't know about this, right? So we got to get into their hands so we can all know about this and spread it. But there's such a huge opportunity here and so many lives here that have been blessed. And it's not just us. You know, Joanne retired. She was looking for a way to retire. She retired, found a husband. So it's, you know, love, money, and health. You know, what better do you want than that, right? But if you're thinking of getting started, absolutely, you can order the products individually. Like I said, 90% of our business, of those 80,000, are customers, just people that see the information and they just want to be on the product. But the beauty of having customers is they order month over month over month. I have customers from 9 years ago that are still ordering this product. And so it's residual income. You're getting paid over and over again. Creating leveraged income is where you don't have to put all the time and the hours in. Leveraged income is then you do find a couple of people that want to do this with you. And then they go out and tell people, and then they go out and tell people, and that's how it's turned into 80,000 people. I don't know 80,000 people. Honestly, I brought 3 key people into this business, and those 3 told people who told people who told people. And now it's like a freight train. It's nonstop, express train probably, nonstop. And it's just a beautiful thing of we've been able to retire over 50 people that retired from their traditional jobs and are doing this because this is not work. This is fun. This is blessing other people's lives. Because to me, the day she came over, she blessed my life in 2 ways. I mean, we've been able to send our kids to the best colleges and like wherever you want to go, just go. My boys are both athletes and we go to every game. Tomorrow morning, I'll be on a plane with my husband to go watch my youngest son play football. And it's just amazing the opportunities that you have and that you can give back to this world and help people and charities. I mean, we just do so many things that we never would have dreamed of doing. Now, if any of that intrigues you and is resonating with you, there are 3 different ways to get started in this business and to share it with people. It's $50 really to start your business. And then you pick a pack, right? You got silver pack, gold pack, and a platinum pack. The platinum pack, I'm going to talk about that because you're getting 30% savings. It's like 20 to 30% savings. So even if you just want to be a customer, because when I got started, I didn't know what I was going to do with this. I was intrigued. I knew I wanted the product. I knew I wanted to be on it for several months. We only had 2 products. We had the NRF2 activator and the True Science anti-aging cream. That's all we had. And it only came with 2 bottles of anti-aging cream. So a lot of bottles of per tandem, right? So I said, hey, we'll have 3 to 4 months to be on it. Let's see what it does. So we got the biggest pack at that time. So you can get that pack and then you get a website with it, you get training material, and you get a whole team that's here to help and support you. You don't do this alone. Like we did this together. Joanne told you how in Sioux Falls, from here, we helped you. We went there and the phone at the time, now we have webinars that we can, and online and a lot of different tools that we can use now to help spread the word with people. So there are there's 6 different ways to get paid. I'm not going to get into all of it and bore you with any of the detail. Just know that up front, you can get 40% on your initial orders that people order. And then after that is the residual portion. So if you just kind of look here, you talk to 5 people and then, have those 5 people talk to 5 people. That turns into 25 to then 125 and 625. So when you get a total of 625 people in your organization, right, and they're spending $200 a month, that's $7,500 a month that you can potentially make there. So it's just the power of the leverage of people telling people. We have an elite pool, which is amazing. Anyone that joins that, it's like it's not profit sharing, it's revenue sharing. Yeah, thank you. That's why she's always here to help me. Revenue sharing, right? So you're getting a little piece of the pie from work that was done 9 years ago, actually. So everyone that's in it, you get a little percentage of it. Go ahead, Carrie. Next one. I don't know what you got next here. Oh, so we go from Pro 1 to Pro 10. We're a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, on the Russell Index, so we can disclose what people are actually making. Because a lot of people say, well, can you make money in one of these things? Well, yes, you can. If you do the work, it's not net wish marketing, it's network marketing. You have to go out and talk to people. I mean, that's just the bottom line, and talk to people and talk to people. So Pro 1 to 10 is how we kind of rank our distributors. Pro 1 is $1,000 in sales. Pro 1, 2, and 3 is part-time income. So you go from $67 to $636, some part-time income. In 2009 and 2010, the average was $285 would have saved most of the homes from going into bankruptcy, and most people going into bankruptcy to save their homes. That's not a lot of money monthly. So you can do that part-time in here. Keep working it a little bit more, keep helping people, right? Then you can get to Pro 4, 5, and 6, which is what 85% of Americans make, between $1,500 to $6,000 a month and so that's a full-time income where people can walk away from their jobs. And then you get into big-time income, Pro 7, 8, and 9, where it's money that you never even believe that is possible. Carrie and I are both temporarily pro nines. Pro nines are average of 48,000, and yesterday was the 15th, and yep, that comes right in every month. You know that budget my husband put me on? You know who's on a budget now? Mister, but he spends it pretty well, though. He's 2 years that was able to walk away from his job, from his corporate job, and just, now he golfs and travels and sees our boys. But I want to bring up Pro 7, Marisa. Pro 8. Oh, sorry, Pro 7. Pro 8, Maggio-Harelson, who is still a yoga instructor. She's going to India in 2 weeks again, but she overheard a conversation.
Oh, I did. I overheard a beautiful woman, Kay Bergamini, God rest her soul, a teacher, talking about how amazing she felt and many other health benefits. And I was intrigued. I overheard. It was a Saturday at yoga, and I actually was taking that day. And I said, Kay, what are you talking about? And she said, oh, don't ask me, ask her. And she points to Carrie Williams and one of my students at 5:30 a.m. on a Monday. And I didn't know her very well. I didn't know anything.
I had to book out of there and get to the bus because my husband was.
Yeah, she was always like, choo, 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 just like she's now, choo, choo, choo. And so anyway, Kay said, talk to her, and whispered in my ear how successful she was. And I was like, whoa, what do you do? I go, what do you do? Because I thought she was a doctor. And I've always been into health and wellness. I was a TV news reporter. I had a health beat. And, I've always been into that. And I teach yoga. And I was just thinking the science, like, what are they talking about that's making you ageless? And so she said, have you watched the ABC? And she gave me that link. I went home and I watched that. And I'm telling you, that's all it took for me. I never came to a presentation like this. I just joined because I saw it. I made my husband watch that ABC video. And I went, we're taking this. And there's some kind of an opportunity. And I knew nothing about network marketing, but I know I love people and I have a passion to help people. I did that in my other professions, and I do it in yoga, and I'll always teach yoga, but I will always do LifeVantage, and I live in the flow. I don't feel like I work. I feel like I help people every single day. And when you help people every day, it naturally will come back to you. And these girls have helped me grow myself more than anything. This is a personal growth and development business. I now have a beautiful team. Many of my people are here, from yoga students, Mark and Isa, my esthetician, and Sean and Jackie, and who else am I missing? But I have like 8,000 people now on an organization, and I knew nothing about this business, but I was coachable and teachable, and I had a burning desire for change. My mom had passed, and I kind of quit all my work and submersed myself in yoga. And I just felt like it was divine intervention. LifeVantage finds you. You don't find LifeVantage. It's up to you what you do with the information. And that's what we have here. And I said yes, and I'll say heck yes, and you should say yes too. Because we need to keep changing the world.
So I just want to say, I was a Bath and Body Works store manager, right? Nobody was coming to me asking. So everybody says, well, who did you talk to? I talked to everybody. I talked to my neighbors. I talked to my yoga instructor. I talked to my family. I talked to my doctor. I talked to my boss, Tess, who hired me at Bath and Body Works. I talked to everybody. And you know what? I'm just passionate about letting people knowing about this information, right? In my mind, everybody needs these products, but at least you can make the decision. And then I'm passionate about for those that are looking for ways to earn extra income, or those that might like to have freedom, right? Get out of that corporate kennel. My husband retired from being an attorney 27 months after I started this business. So Luke was diagnosed right at 2. 3 months later, Todd walked away at 39 years old. And on Halloween, it'll be 7 years that we have owned our life. My kids have both parents instead of neither of us. And like Maria said, you know, we've helped bless so many others. And that's what I found. When network marketing is done right, it is servant leadership. You go and you work together, and we all have different strengths that we bring to the table, and there's a team, and there's synergy amongst the team as well. So we're just passionate about giving people options and letting them know and just seeing if anything resonates with you. So I would just say in closing, first, thank you for coming. Get back with the person that invited you. Let them know, do you see yourselves taking the products? You know, get your questions answered. Grab one of us. There's so many medical professionals and so many regular people as well. But get with the person that invited you, or if anything is grabbing you and just saying, wait, what if, right? What if this is what I was looking for? Coming in a totally unexpected way, perhaps, but what if this is something I want? Or maybe I just want to casually tell friends and family and get and believe in these products, right? And change lives. So get with a person, get your questions answered, but I'll tell you, do not look back and have regrets. Maria and I, you know, we talked to a ton of neighbors back when we were on the other side of town. We've talked to tons of people since then, and so many people are like, we wish we would have done that. Back with you. Well, guess what? Like, it is not too late. We are more passionate than ever. We're so excited with this NAD Synergizer and what we have our hands on, and we are just going to go light the world on fire, and we're looking for those that want to join us too. So thank you for coming. We've got samples of Axio so you can try. Again, get with the person who invited you. They can get you samples of our brand new product too, and just super appreciate everybody taking the time. So thank you.
That's a wrap. Thanks, everybody. I hope it worked out okay. I can't hear a thing, but thank you for joining us tonight. Have a wonderful evening.